So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Simply Live with SimplyLesa. And I'm here in Quartzsite, Arizona. And let's see if I could show you the parking lot I'm in. This is actually the city park. And over where those two white minivans and the pickup truck are, that is the big dog park. And on the other side with the cars is the little dog park. And if I go even further, there's a road over there near that telephone pole. And if I go back like this, right in the center, that's a little side road that takes us over to the ball field where RTR is happening. So I'm going to leave it kind of like this for now and turn us back around. And then I'm going to say good morning to everybody. Let me do the housekeeping first. I'm on the phone, not on my Chromebook today. So maybe Iris, if you wouldn't mind typing a little blip. Please, in case there's a lot of people that come today, okay? If we could put 3 uppercase Q's in front of questions, I'm more than happy to help answer questions. Say hi with each other while I'm chit-chatting away. I'm going to try to do an hour. You know how I am with talking in time and questions. So hopefully it's right around an hour. If it's a little more than that, come and go as you need to. This, after we finish up with the live, then over the course of the day, as soon as signals are strong enough and everything, then this posts as a replay. And so if you go to my channel and you scoot over on the channel, there's some little tabs that say things like videos and community and stuff like that. And under the community post is where there's some activity going on. I just post little things. And then, and there's a membership. Don't forget the membership. Some of y'all are starting to use that. I need to do a little better with that. I've been kind of challenged with a lot of things this last week or two. So, but there's plans for using the membership more. So joining is wonderful. And I want to give you guys more comment for your membership. You also get to have a special star beside your name if you're a member. That's kind of cool. There's super thanks and super chats if you're interested in helping the channel out with a little extra, thank yous and a little extra gas to get me to my next gig or whatever, right? Or just helping out. It takes me a little while to get things from that. I did just get Cash App. And of course, just like everything else, I did my best. I got SimplyLesa. So the Cash App thing is not on the SimplyLesa.com yet. But I did just change Facebook from my personal account to I added a SimplyLesa page. That's new. I'm not even really sure how to use it well yet. So, be a little patient, but you can run over there. And if you would like to, if you already are friended by me as me, I'd love it if you knew how to switch yourself over to being a SimplyLesa fan. If we're not like super personal friends, that would be really helpful. I don't know how to do that yet or how to switch people. I also, big announcement, I also announced in a couple of the informational groups for van dwellers and vehicle dwellers and stuff like that, nomads. I put out the information that I'm doing a camp together weekend, the 27th, 28th, and 29th of January. I'm not sure whether I'm having it near Dome Rock or near Plamosa Road. I have not decided. So I'll have to let you know as quick as I can because I know that's coming right up. But the deal is I do a non-religious day of rest Sabbath on Saturday. I would like anybody who wants to do this camp together weekend to come on Friday, please, and set up on Friday, please, and then respect my camp and my health, along with anybody else who wants to come, right? By only smoke in your rigs, please, so that I can enjoy being at the campfire with you. And if you drink, please don't get drunk, because I don't want to have somebody escort you away. And I don't mind that you drink. I don't handle drunk situations. And so I just want to avoid any of that. And not just smoking cigarettes, but please smoke your marijuana in your own rig and be respectful. Please also be respectful with perfume, and please don't wear the perfume at my camp. It's too much for me. Sometimes the smells of people's laundry detergents can set some of us people off. So if we just be a little respectful, it's only 3 days, not real hard. And so if you'd set up on Friday, please, wherever we're going to be, and then on Friday, set up on Friday. Then Friday night at sunset, I start my day of rest thing, and I like to enjoy a campfire, and I like to enjoy my steak for dinner. And bring your own food, bring your own steak or whatever. And then Saturday, I go for a walk, I visit, we can have more campfire, we can just take a really good relaxed day. And then nothing special Saturday night, but probably another campfire because we're all around, and why not, right? Get warm and hang out together. And just a chill day on Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we'll be doing the live, Sunday live, and y'all can be like audience or whatever. You could just be there with me and ask your questions, or we can poke around my rig or whatever feels appropriate. We'll do what comes up. But that's going to be the 28th, 27th, 28th, and 29th of January. And I'm not sure, Dome Rock or Plumosa Road, so kind of watch for an announcement someplace. All right. We may get a lot more people. Tristan from SUV RVing just did his second big interview with me. It'll take a little while for that interview and car via rig. I had my engine on, it was chilly. It'll take a little while for him to post that interview and walk around of my current rig, the Chevy Tracker. But so watch for that on his channel. Eventually that'll come out. I learned early on that I'm a fan of SUVs. I'm not a fan of vans. As I think they're great. They work for people. I just don't like to drive them. Well, I didn't like living in them either, because for me, I could get depressed and stay inside for a month at a time because I could have everything I needed and not have to go anywhere. So it wasn't the best for my health. But let's see. So that's Tristan. I believe Linda with Serene, I forgot what her channel's called, Serene something. She did a walk around at the RTR's small rig event. I did go. I did put my rig in the small rig showcase. He calls it open house at RTR. And so I was there for that. It's incredible what happens when you're at those events. Some lady's dog peed all over my stuff. Oh, the things I had to wash afterwards. But there's dogs. It happens. And I'm trying to think who else. Shalom on the Road, Miss Donna. She also did a rig thing with me maybe a week ago. And Pandemonium's getting ready too. I think she's kind of goes by Pandemonium RV. I'm not absolutely certain on that. So is that the big update? updates. I'm trying to remember. Is that the big updates? I think that's the big updates. I'm still waiting on packages because I put my rig in the open house at RTR. I missed going to BCM on Friday to pick up what I think that my package should have been delivered for the roof rails for the outside roof of this back removable portion of my tracker. I purchased them myself from Perry Craft, who makes stuff for marine use for boats. And the original, well, this top is actually from Rally Top. It is the first gen, it's 24-year-old fiberglass. Now, some of the trackers came with a removable roof from the factory, but those were, I'm trying to remember, what's the black plastic called? PVC, something. I forgot what it's called, but anyways, black plastic. It was a different name. But because mine is a Rally Top, it's fiberglass and it has a carpeted headliner. It's very similar construction, but small pieces to like one of the fiberglass trailers. So adding roof rails on the rear portion of this removable roof, I have to be careful. I can never put any more than 75 pounds on my roof, and that includes the rails. So I specifically checked in with Rally Top Company for how could I get a set. They don't sell them separately. So they advised me to call Perry Craft, who they buy theirs from, and ask for a certain part number and talk to the gentleman there. Well, I got the owner. I think his name was Dave. I hope I'm not wrong. That would be embarrassing to be wrong, but hey, it's memory, people. 64-year-old memory too. But anyway, so I called him. Perry Craft is out of North Carolina, and he was wonderful. I've talked to them maybe 3 times, I think. And then when I called back and I was ready, once I realized what his pricing could be, I was like, okay, now let me call back because I've got like $180 if I needed to, but I don't want to spend that much. How am I going to do this? So I called and I talked to him. And when it all came down, it was $150. And so I ordered it. And it was supposed to be delivered Friday. But like I said, I was at this other event, so I have to wait. And then I forgot that tomorrow is Martin Luther King Day. And so I bet they're closed tomorrow. So I have to wait till Tuesday to pick them up. But so soon I should have some rails on the top. And my rails will be, I believe, surface mounted is what we talked about. And they're a foundational piece from Perry Craft. They manufacture it under another name, and I forgot the name. And they make more pieces that I will be able to use in conjunction with that in the future if I decide to do more. But it will have tie-down straps on it of some kind. The way it was described, I believe it's similar to like L-Track or something, and it has the little loops or something, but I'm not 100% certain. And I see this minivan driving all around me right now, but their windows are so tinted. I don't know why they're driving around me in a circle. Anyway, so, oh, hi, Valerie from Nashville. Wonderful. 10 people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Iris, for helping. Anything that I'm forgetting in the housekeeping department, Iris, would you help remind people of things that I might have forgotten? I think I did pretty good. I do still have PayPal. But if you go to my SimplyLesa.com, there's buttons for all the things I have. I haven't written a blog post in the writing sense on Blogger or Blogspot in a little while. I've got 3 things in my head, but I've been busy. I kind of have a life. So, okay, let's see. So I talked about the roof rails. I wasn't able to pick those up. And I'm also waiting for Amazon packages that I ordered 3 weeks ago. They haven't even shipped them yet. And I'm a Prime member. Come on, people. I'm a low income Prime member. For any of you low income people, you do know about that, right? And if you don't, ask me, I'll talk about it. But get in on that $6.99 a month to have Prime, which lets you stream movies and stuff too. And should get your packages to you a little quicker. I do understand that I ordered some things that are coming from a distance. Most of them were Amazon, but there were very few of them available through, few of the items left. And so I guess they have to collect them from the other places to get them to a place where they'll eventually get shipped to me. So that's probably what's going on with that. Let's see. I had changed my diet. Let's get that in real quick. And then I'll go see what you guys are starting to ask me for questions. Please ask questions. So I think I need to go check on my dates, but I think I've been an entire month now doing the lion diet, which is what Michaela Peterson and her parents do. And it has helped them tremendously. And so I decided I'd heard of carnivore and paleo and things, and I've been paleo and I've been dabbling with carnivore for a long time. But I always thought if I was going to do a really healing meat diet that I had to eat it raw, and I just couldn't. I couldn't imagine putting a piece of raw liver in my mouth. Okay. So that'll get a few views, right? But anyways, so when I found out that Michaela was becoming really healthy by doing lion diet is what she's termed it, but ruminant animals, salt, and meat. And now she's been 5 years, but all kinds of things have healed up for her. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try. I'm going to do it. So I took 4 days. I'm the kind of person who rips a Band-Aid off quick or jumps in the deep end of the pool. Right. And so, but I decided to take 4 days to move over from lectin free to this. And I'd known for a while that every time I got near, I wanted meat so bad I couldn't stand it. Okay. And that every time I got near it, I couldn't get enough. And when I started dabbling with or eating a little bit of sheep's cheese, it was so salty and it was so good. And I would eat the whole little $5 chunk you can buy at Walmart, and I would eat it all in one day. And I was like, well, it says it's like 1,500 calories or something. And not that calories are super important, but it's kind of a guideline thing, right? And so I was like, well, I'm just going to let it be okay. And that's what I'm going to eat today. And I'm just not going to worry about it. But I was still having some other things. So when I went into this, went deep end, and so ruminant meat, salt, and water is all I'm been doing for a month, and it's working, and I'm feeling good. And sure, I'm sleeping more, and sure, I've had a couple of, awkward muscle things and whatever. I am drinking Pellegrino because it's really high in all the electrolytes that is important for you to kind of watch out for. And so I'm going through quite a bit of Pellegrino, but that's okay. I don't mind. It's the worst of it. And somehow it's really simplified my whole life. I've spent so freaking much time trying to get good money. I'm sorry, wrong word. I saw something on the screen and it distracted me. I've spent so much time working on trying to get good food and to not have problem bathroom habits or urgencies and stuff. And so lots of time and money and effort on the bathroom and on food. And all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I'm good. And this is simple. and I can relax. And now I have so freaking much time that once I got a little rested, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do next? Well, then I start working on the stuff online, and that annoys me quickly because whether I'm using the phone or the laptop, depending on my signal situation, it's a little, I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to be with my face in the screen. Whoops, I hit the button. But I don't want to be with my face in the screen all the time. I want to look up. And then in the last few days, I've been like, well, it's time to go for a walk. I can't wait to go for a walk. And then it rained. And I don't mind rain for walking in, but, I don't really have the appropriate shoes right now. I bought that new pair of Jumra barefoot shoes that I love and have been wearing for a long, long time. I've been wearing barefoot shoes for probably 10 years. And so I don't like regular shoes. I can't even get my feet in regular shoes anymore. It's the way it is. But so the Jumra ones on Amazon, and yes, I have an Amazon influencer store. I bought another pair of those, but they, even when I put them up against the ones that are the same size that I have, okay, they were significantly smaller. I think they were mislabeled, the size that I bought. So I gifted those to someone because I couldn't return them. And so that was $40-ish. Okay. And so I haven't ordered another pair, and the ones I've got are really worn out, and I've put even thick wool socks in them so they're stretched now. And I really want a pair of barefoot hiking boots because I'd like to go walk in some rocky places. So anyways, that's a lot of personal stuff. So let me now get my finger up in y'all's face and check the messages that you have put out here and questions. Let's see if I can start answering any questions. That is, if I can find them. There we go. Okay, so go way back to the beginning. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mojave, Loretta. It's snowy. Are you up at up in Apache County, Loretta? How are my hands? Okay, I will talk about that. Let me make a mental note. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, Iris and Beth, for helping to do those little. Hi, Mary. For helping out with all those housekeeping things so that people know how to say hi to each other and introduce themselves and become part of our little thing. Nashville, thank you for coming in, Valerie. Yes, I will. Okay, I'll talk about Prime some more. And hi, Catherine. We said hi this morning, so in a message. Yeah, Iris, I'm going to correct something about the Lifeline thing. It depends on the service that you're connected on through Lifeline as to whether the company will give you a tablet. The company I'm with will not give me a tablet. Hi, Gary. How are you? Thank you for appreciating me and the crazy hard work it is for me to still be doing this on a phone after doing it I've been doing this since 2004, and I was writing blogs before that. So, but I haven't stopped having a life, but it's a lot of freaking work. And it's a lot of work for sort of kind of no thanks. Cause okay. So in all honesty, if I get $100 check every 4 to 6 months, it's a big deal. I walk around the house going, oh, yay, I got something. And I just found out that, I'd been wondering why I'm an Amazon influencer. They made me that years ago, and I have my own store and everything. In the last 6 months, I've made $2. So I don't know why I don't make more money. I don't understand. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing, but whatever. So, it's not about me getting rich. I want to help everybody. And I really, if I could consistently get $250 a month, that would be lovely. That would help me a lot. And I also don't want to affect my Social Security check in any negative way. But $250 a month would not do that. $500 wouldn't do that. But I'm not trying to take advantage of people who have been as poor as I have. And so that's why I'm not as pushy about, I gotta have tons of people and I gotta make lots of money. I get it. I mean, it would be lovely, but I do have the blessing that I worked and I paid into Social Security, and then when I became disabled, that they approved me for disability payments. And now that I have gotten the latest income that didn't come out right. The latest increase in disability income, this month, January, was the first time since 2004 when I first got on disability and got $450 the first check. Okay. I got $1,000 this month for the first time. And so what a blessing even that is, just the cost of living increases. And so I'm grateful for all this stuff. And let's see, the other questions that I remember seeing were, okay, let me talk about Prime first, because Amazon Prime, if you're low income and you get EBT, food stamps, or there's a couple other items, you qualify to get low income Amazon Prime for $6.99 a month. It includes streaming videos and downloading videos. It includes some free books, and it includes a whole music thing that I haven't even looked at. Okay. And I've had low income Prime for 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure. Okay. So that's Prime. Lifeline I answered. How am I feeling? Is that where I want to go next? Because there were 2 of you that asked that, as I recall. So the other day I had put out a video about the beauty salon in Quartzsite. Lovely place, lovely woman. She helped me comb my hair because I could not grip a comb. My comb's in the back. I can't get to it to show you, but I couldn't grip my comb. When I woke up, I couldn't hold my car key. So, car key, right? I went to pick up my car key now, and with my right hand, okay? And I went to pick up my car key, and I could not squeeze like that. I went to pick it up, and my hand went, and it went like, I was like, oh crap, what is wrong with me, right? But it's probably a little bit of the detox. And I have seen MRI scans from people who tried doing this lion's elimination diet that I'm on. And I've seen brain scans of before they started and 6 months in, and they completely healed the lesions on their brain that are one of the markers that makes the diagnosis for MS. And when I saw that, I was like, I'm in. I want mine gone. So I'm willing to do it. So here I am. And sure, I've had days, if I was talking about the diet a long time, I probably should do a video about the diet itself. But yeah, maybe I'll do that, a whole video about the diet itself, because the diet itself, there's been some getting used to, like cooking just hamburger and trying to eat it, and it's a little greasy, and it's like, and there's some guidelines for eat as a woman and as an older woman to eat a little bit higher fat. And so, instead of buying 80-20 or lean, whatever. I'm getting the fattier, like 70-30 hamburger because it's cheap. And trying to eat a spoonful of that in the beginning was like, so it's better. Yeah, I think I'll do a whole video on it. I think that's the best way to do that. I am so trying to get back to what happened. I lost all, whoops, there we go. Let me try that again. Nope, didn't do it. Am I on a different page? No, I'm not on a different page. What happened? I can't see y'all. There we go. There, you're back again. So. Oh, Geezer's here. Hi, Geezer. I don't know what else to call you. Any experience with Toyota Tundra trucks? I'm interested in, you know what? I love Toyotas. I love Hondas. But I love Toyotas. I love Hondas. I love Suzukis. I love my car. Okay. I am so in on this one. I love this. So Toyotas, Suzukis, Hondas. What are Nissans now? And Nissan, whatever Nissan is now, right? Those, yeah, absolutely. They're good vehicles. I don't have much experience myself with a Tundra, but I have some real, high-end mechanics that are retired now these mechanics are kind of in my back pocket for advice, right? And when they gave me my list, had I had more money, Toyota trucks were on my list. So I think you're probably looking the right direction. If you need more information than that, I'm not sure if I can connect you with those people. They're not out here today on this chat, but send me an email and I'll see if I can hook you up or something, I think. See what I can do. I mean, as much stuff as I've got to do right now. I really want to get this Amazon store stuff straightened out because people are asking me like crazy for my saddlebags. If I had saddlebags here to sell, I'd be raking in the dough right now. Probably 15 people want my saddlebags. No, they can't have mine. Go buy your own, but use my Amazon link and so that I can make more than $2, right? Okay, I am trying to be silly about it. I mean, honestly, I'm not that greedy but it seems like for all the effort I put in, you'd think I saw a little more. It's all good though. You know what? I have what I have. And let me double check messages again. Yes, Stan is a good person to ask about a Tundra. Absolutely. And ask Stan Lee. Now, Stan Lee, the son, right? Stan Lee, Stan's son, has the... Oh, hi, Letty. How are you? You're over at LTVA. I'm here in town too, Letty. I'm looking back for questions. So that Stanley owns the diesel part of that business, and Stanley is Stan's son, obviously, and he also owns the tow truck service up there in St. John's. So Stanley, if Stan is too busy or something, ask Stanley. Absolutely, yeah, they're great for that kind of stuff. And Stanley, man, if Stanley himself is ever selling a vehicle and it's a vehicle that he owned, buy it. Because that boy, when he fixes his own vehicles, he's kind of like me, but he has more resources and skill, right? And when he fixes them, they're fixed and they're in good shape. So if you can get one he's selling that he drove himself, that's going to be a good vehicle. It's probably never going to break down. So that's a good thing. Hi, Jules. Thanks for coming in. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, avocados are, Valerie, but let's kind of separate. I'd like to separate the diet thing for now, and we can kind of do I'll do a separate video about what I'm doing and why. And I agree with you. Avocados are gooder, are better fat in vegetable form. But personally, I started having trouble with the fiber. And I've come to decide that for a while, I'm going to just do only ruminant meat, salt and water for a while, and to see how that will help heal up some of the problems I've had. So, but I'd like to kind of separate that. And because I kind of put out here this morning, I typed it, that we would talk about RTR and stuff. And so I want to jump into the fact that I had put out a message or a post the other day announcing that I was going to put my small rig into the open house, is what he calls it, right? Into the small rig open house at RTR. And what I put out was, I'm facing my fears today. And so why did Lesa put that message out? I thought maybe some of you all might have wondered that. Well, I've had a life. I'm 60 freaking 4 years old, okay? I've had a life. Stuff's happened to me in my lifetime. How do I lead into this? I have had awkward interactions with other human beings my entire life. Some of those awkward things could be put under a label of toxic. Some could be put under the label of narcissistic abuse or bullying. Some could be put under, there could be many different labels for the things that have happened in my life. There's many traumas that I experienced from them. Now, each human being, the way I understand it, each human being reacts differently to things that happen to them. And so I could be standing beside two other people and have a communication, and I could walk away traumatized, and the other person could walk away going, oh, that was interesting, right? Because we both would react differently to whatever the third person was saying. And so that's kind of my quick way of saying, we're different, but we're human, but we're different. And so some of the things that I experienced in my life that perhaps my siblings did not experience as trauma, I did. Okay. For me, I think I was either 3 or 4 years old, the stray puppy had come to the house, and I was all in love with this puppy. Okay. Made it a little bed on the front porch. Okay. And then my sisters went out to go to school, maybe a Monday or something. I don't know, but a weekday. And I go out to wait for the bus with my sisters, and I'm not going with them because I'm not old enough yet. Well, the puppy goes out and runs across the road. Well, he gets to the other side, but I'm scared for him, and I want him to come back. I want him to be my puppy. I called him back after the bus went. I don't want to be graphic, but it wasn't pleasant, and he wasn't alive in a few minutes afterwards. For me, that was traumatic. For years, I could not stand the sight of the certain color of red. And you could read between the lines, I think. Okay. But that was traumatic for me for years. I'm scared. Every time I see certain color, I think of that thing happening, and I can't get it out of my head. So I'm just saying, so I've had a lot of traumas. Okay. Because of that, when I moved to Costa Rica, I could be a different person because all the things that had happened to me in my past happened in the United States. And lots of them happened in New England. So none of those people were anywhere near me in Costa Rica, and I'm in a whole group of people who speak a different language. And then when I went to the indigenous village, I was in Ray Carre, which is part of the oh poop. I forgot the name of the tribe. Ah, oh, my bad. Anyways, so these people are so different color skin, different way of thinking, different language, different customs, different traditions. And so I was able to just relax and be myself and try to get healthier. And I was better and I was happier. And I actually started singing sometimes. And then I would just do things for other people because I wanted to. And then when I decided to return to the United States, the reverse culture shock was really difficult for me. And I did an attempt in 2009, and then 2010 again. And then in 2011 is when I successfully came back, got a van, and ended up being DS, your message came in, but I'm sorry, I don't know what the problems are. I apologize for not being able to give better answers. Hopefully it's working now, and I do have a signal. So if you're trying to ask me a question, anybody, please put 3 uppercase Q's in front of your question so I notice it quickly, so I'll come back and answer it. So DS, your messages are coming in now. So because of traumas, okay, I'm trying to get to the whole, why did I put out that I was facing my fears? Because I was. Because I returned to the United States. I had lived in a van in 1978, and I'd been a campground host. I've done all kinds of things like that from 1978 right up until 2011. And and all the traveling and whatever. There's lots of stuff in there. So when I finally was in the van and meeting Bob Wells in 2011, I just had this idea that this community is going to be just as freeing for me as it was to live in a foreign country when nobody knew me and we couldn't speak the language. I would just be able to take a deep breath and be myself. So I came back. I came to meeting these people thinking that's the way it was going to be. And my first night out, I pull up. Bob's all excited to see me because we'd been texting online for over a year. Hi, Dawn from Minnesota. That is for me, that is private, but lost my number. There is an email available for me, but there's also on Facebook. You'll be able to find me. So I'll just say it. It's SimplyLesa, spell it right, @gmail.com. Please don't swamp me. But please, when you do send me the email, please in the subject line, put in all caps, Sunday Live. That helps me make sure I get to you. Or if it's a different subject, you can start it with Sunday Live dash and a subject. And that even helps more because I am getting busy with stuff. So I was so excited. And then my first night, like I said, Bob was excited to meet me because I finally got here, right? And I'm safe and I'm so glad to be here. I'm going to get a good night's sleep. Where would you like me to park, Bob? And Bob parks me between him and one of his best friends. Well, I don't have a bathroom in my van. So I got up in the middle of the night and quietly, I thought, closed my door, walked out into a wash, found a place to pee, and came back. Quietly, I thought, closed my door. The next morning, I've got one of Bob's best friends screaming at me at the top of his lungs that I'm a stupid woman. And what the hell have I camped where? Near him. And I'm just like a deer in the headlights. What the hell just happened? Bob told me to camp here. And now this is in 2011, and there's very few of us at this point in this whole situation. And so that was my first night with this community. So then over time, there were more negative experiences. So I had another, now famous in the world because of a movie, person scream at me over, she thought I stole salt and pepper shakers or some stupid thing. But the way she screamed, the way she drove up and slammed on her brakes in front of a crowd of maybe 20 people, I felt like this was, it was a flashback to like something, I'm going to have to say it, but something my mother would have done to me. And it was so painful that it was like, I couldn't separate the two things. And I didn't know what to do in the moment. And then, the other people who had been around a few years before me came over and gave me a hug and said, we see that you've had this happen. We saw it. We're so sorry. We wish we could have told you before it happened. And I'm like, well, why didn't you? And they're like, because we were hoping that the person changed. So yes, I still have PayPal. PayPal is paypal.me/SimplyLesa. However that's supposed to be written. It's there. It should be under some of my old videos. I need to make sure it's under the new ones. But yes, I still have PayPal, me, SimplyLesa. And I now have Cash App, SimplyLesa. That's new. I just got it because somebody's been pestering me to do it. And what else do I have? And my Amazon wish list is still out there. I added some things to it while I've been messing around with my Amazon influencer store, which I still, if anybody knows how to do some of these stuff and you want to help me, I could use a plan ahead, few days of let's go sit down and get this mess straightened out to where I can manage it better. Or I don't know if there's a piece of software that would let me do this easier. I don't know, but it's hard for me to try to manage all this stuff, and mostly on my phone, which is, tiny fonts. So let's see what else. So there were incidents that happened once Ozzy came into my life. Ozzy kind of took me away from center camp, and some people were like, oh, good, we're so glad you're not there anymore because we want to do what you were doing, or whatever. And I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying that I did have to deal with it. And recently, so my fear has been of people. And I've done such a lovely job. I'm good. When I put my mind to doing something, I do a good job, and I do it quick, and I do it, I hit it hard, jump off the deep end of the pool, right? And I've done such a good job of protecting myself, protecting my health. So skirting around crowds, as in I want to go to say the Gypsy Minstrel thing when I thought that might have been a cool event to go to, I go, but I camp way over there so I can monitor, so I can be careful of cigarette smoke and marijuana smoke. And then I go up to check the crowd, and I walk way on the outside edges and be careful and smell the air and make sure that I only give hugs when I'm, safe. And so I'm doing those things. Plus, I'm trying really hard not to get bit by a dog like I did when I was 7 riding my bicycle, right? A German Shepherd grabbed my knee. Well, you get knocked off the bike. It's a little traumatic, okay? And so I don't want to get bit by a dog, but then I do some Thanksgiving thing like I did at one of the van build things. It would have been Jamie. And here I am bringing the turkey to the table, and I've asked nicely for everybody to please put their dogs, even their service dogs, up for just an hour so that we don't have to contend with dogs, because we know with turkey there's meat on the table. And of course, some people just went, I'm doing what you say, or whatever. Maybe they didn't say that. Maybe that's how I felt it. Okay. But 2 dogs decide to go at the turkey, and I'm backed in a corner with a dog fight, and I didn't get hurt, but I was done. I walked away. I never even ate dinner. I'm like, I'm so scared now. Get the dogs away from me. I don't care whose dogs they are. Just get them away from me. I can't do this. So there's dog things. Okay. And then here I come bring my car in, and I have my chair out, and a whole bunch of little dogs peed all over the chair legs for my lawn chair. And I'm allergic to dogs. So, I got to wash it. It's not a big, hairy thing. But if you put these things together, and that's what PTSD is, that sometimes you can't separate today's thing from 7-year-old getting knocked off the bike because a German Shepherd grabs her knee, right? I have been in therapy working on this stuff for a long time, and I am so much better. But my therapist and I had decided 2 weeks ago that it wasn't wise for me to go to RTR. And then I got to Quartzsite, and I started working through the memories. I started working through, oh my God, when I had that lunch with so-and-so over here, and it was so connecting, and I miss people so much, and I miss my friends so much. And I wonder what happened to this person. And, oh, I know this other one already died, and, those kinds of things, right? But they're all healing things going through my mind, okay? And then I camped with one of you who comes out here nearly every single Sunday, probably is here right now. And we have a close, separate camping relationship, which to me is a very healthy adult relationship. I'm responsible for me. I preach that to y'all, don't I? About being radically independent. I'm radically independent for myself. My allergies, my health problems, my being allergic to marijuana is not your problem. You want to smoke marijuana? Go right ahead. Not my problem. But guess what I got to do? Because I'm allergic, and that means hospital and not fun. That means I got to make sure if I want to visit with you that I take all the precautions I can to not start having anaphylactic shock, or whatever it is, okay? And sometimes the thing is not an allergen. Sometimes the thing is, I know I could be triggered by. I need to be careful to protect myself so that I don't get triggered and do something that's awkward in a crowd, okay? Because people in my life have not been very safe. So, all of that being said, this has been part of my healing process. And so there was a couple of conversations that this person I was camped near and I had over some nice, calm, beautiful location, kind of private, nice, calm campfires. And we were able to have some good adult conversations about things that were hard. And this person was even able to mirror back to me that the way that I said a couple of things to them sounded like I thought I knew better than them or something. It's a loose thing, loose idea. But I was like, oh, because I've protected myself from people so much, my interpersonal communication skills might have had some problems, might still have some problems. So, so I was able to get some ideas and practice and hear how it sounded to somebody else. And I was able to go, oh, whoa. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can learn to check that, just double check it before it comes out my mouth, right? So I don't have to always have some odd reaction to people. So then after that happened, it was this week's therapy session again. And I explored the idea of going to RTR or not. And I was like, honestly, I'm so scared. I am really scared. But I think when we ended my therapy session, I said, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to look at me do this because I was doing that nervous thing of, I think that what I will do is I will drive my car over to the park that's near RTR and I will nudge at, could I be near any of these people? Could I put myself closer? And then Donnie Valesco or whatever his name is said, how about I'm going to put my rig in the small rigs thing. You're coming too, right, Lesa? Because all my buddies want to come see your rig. And I was like, well, if you're going to be there, I'm not as scared. So I've already gone. And by that time, I had already driven around the outside of the RTR. And I was like, okay, cars don't scare me. People do. Dogs, these dogs, because people think they have control of their dogs often. And then in big dog heavy public situations, dogs do other things. Some of them just can't stand their leash because there's 15 dogs around, and some go, no, I'm the boss. And you know, so there's all the 101 Dalmatian fights, right? So once Donnie said he was going, I was like, yeah, all right, now, because I was already, I'm going to go, but is it okay, right? And so then it was like, well, if Donnie's there, if I get real scared, I'll lock my car up and I'll go sit with them and I'll be fine, right? But I got there. It was a better experience. I was fine. I'm so glad I have done it. I reconnected with people that I thought hated me. And come on, not everybody loves us in the world. And man, I'm an ugly crier when I see me on a thing. I think I'm an ugly crier, but whatever. But I've had friends that were so close to me in this community, and I haven't seen them in years. And I never knew what happened. But to have them just walk out of oh my God, you're here. And then it's like, okay, so now we have plans again, okay? And I'm so glad I faced my fear. So today, after we do this afternoon, I am going to go into RTR. I will go park in parking so that I'm forcing myself to go to the event. And so I'll park in parking. I will walk in. I need a cooler because my refrigerator's up at the cabin. And because I'm eating meat now, I'm struggling a little bit. I had a cooler bag, but I can't put a bag of ice in a cooler bag without having a mess. So I need to go in. I want to look in the free pile and, pray that there's a really good quality small cooler in the free pile because I need one. And I need it to be good enough to be able to do my trip to Baja with. And then, in my brain is saying Yeti style. Okay. That doesn't mean I need the name. I don't care about names. But I'm just saying one of those thicker, more insulated ones would be nice. But hey, whatever God brings me will be fine. I just can't get it. I feel like I can't spend the money. I've spent money on the roof rails and on my hammocks that aren't here yet, but my gear hammocks for over my windows and a few other things. I've spent some money to be ready for Baja. So And I've still got to buy insurance and get my, what is it, FMM or FFM? I forgot which acronym, but anyways, I got to get that, my visa. And so I have to do those, and I'm going to be down there at least a month. It doesn't make any sense to buy a month's worth of insurance. It looks like it's better to just go ahead and pay for 6 months, which for me is either only liability is $200 and full coverage, but it will only give me $3,000 on my vehicle is $300. And so I need to do that expense. I wanted the hammock stand ahead of time. It's not happening yet. Bumped into Graham Cracker. I think he says Ranny. I don't know how to say his name well, but anyway, and I had no clue, right? He forgot who I was. He thought the Simply logo with some other woman that he didn't like. So we've corrected that. And come to find out, he loves hammocks too. And he wants the same hammock stand and can't afford it. And so we're talking how we can perhaps together manage getting hammock stands. And thank you, TJ Shack, for the big, help on how to find that. So I'm seeing all kinds of comments come up. So I'm at a place where I can take a deep breath. I'm going to read what y'all are talking about over here. Do you have more like specific questions? Please, 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 please ask questions. I love to get your input. It helps me. So let me go, because it's been a little ways back. Let's go back up here because I saw TJ Shack coming in. Oh, and Dawn. Okay. But Dawn, your messages got in. So there was Jules. I had seen her. Yeah, avocados. I had spoken about that, but we'll talk about that in another time. TJ, I'm so glad you guys are here. I'm saying guys, the two of you. I don't know which of you or if it's both of you. I'm assuming it's both. Issues trying to get, don't know what has posted and what. This is Dawn. Got that. Okay, you told me. Okay. Is Bob there now? Bob is in the area. That's all I know. I could find out, but he's in the area. Thank you, Iris, for the God bless me thing. I love you. I'm so glad that by being able to give you just a little bit of responsibility, it seems to have, helped you. And you just seem so much happier than a year ago. I'm just so proud of you. Yes, TJ, absolutely, about looking at the positives too. But sometimes when you're in the middle of not understanding that you're being triggered, sometimes you can't see past all the pain, and it's so compounded with the stuff from when before you were born, or you're 3 and then you're 7 and then you're 18, and right, and sometimes it's so freaking hard. So and sometimes, okay, I do have another dog story from being here at the event and having a definite PTSD dog moment while there were probably 5 people talking to me. And at my rig the other day. I want to keep reading a little bit. Oh, Dawn, I just thought of something. If you're emailing me and it's what I think it is, I'm so sad. Okay. Whoops, I didn't mean to put my finger in front of the camera. I was swapping hands, my shoulders hurt. Work hard with the bad memories, yes. And that's why I stay to myself a lot. That's why, it's easier, but I've done such a good job of protecting myself. And I think it's time for me to grow past some of that, because I know There's so many people that thank me and hug me and say I've been helpful. So if that's what I'm here for, then great. Well, now, Beth, about the service dog thing, okay? Those two dogs are no longer in the community. I don't think that they're Rady. That's it, Rady. I always say his name wrong. Um, uh, those two service dogs that were that particular incident aren't here. But I do think that there is an owner responsibility. And y'all know that I talk about being radically independent. And that, to me, that means that you are willing to take care of you and yours, and that you protect you and yours, because other people aren't thinking about you. And so you need to show up at your campsite early enough that you can see if you need to set something up. You need, or to see the ruts in the road so you don't ruin your vehicle. You need to bring enough food for you to eat. You don't need to bring enough food for everybody else to eat. That's a want. That's a maybe you want to, but you need to bring enough for you. No, don't expect somebody else to be bringing food to share so that you don't have to bring food. That's the part I'm talking about, but trauma triggers. Okay. I understand that, Beth, but I just wanted to clarify it for anybody who was there and remembers the event, or even any of my siblings who might watch this and might remember something happening in our family. Just know that we all deal with it different. And I want you all to know that there are ways to safely maneuver this. But I get a little annoyed, I guess. Yeah, I do. I get a little annoyed with people who show up to things, or show up to me, but show up to things and situations in their life with their hands out. Like, I'm on disability. I only get $800 a month. You need to give me a van. You need to introduce me personally to Bob so that Bob can pay for the rest of my life. Those, you get, this is a little bit of an exaggeration, but there are people in life who show up going, so where's the food bank? Let me rephrase that too, because now that I'm starting to say it, I'm like, well, wait a minute. I mean, sometimes it is, where's the food bank? Because I need it, right? That is one thing. But then there's the people who are like, the back end of their van is full of canned goods, and they're like, where's the food bank? Because I'm not going to starve. Well, you're not going to starve already. You got enough food to feed an army in the back of your rig, and you don't have a place to sleep, right? And you need to make sure you got a place to sleep, something to eat, a way to go to the bathroom. You got to be able to take care of yourself. So don't be trying to take care of the masses if you're a mess, right? And I'm not trying. I try to be try really hard to be honest and upfront and real. And the reality is sometimes you're out here all freaking alone for months at a time. And sometimes you're all the freaking alone is lonely. And sometimes a stray animal comes up, or a bear, or I've camped with bears. I've had coyotes come straight up to my door, kind of put their nose on the glass, So, I'm just saying, it's human. It's not, but of course, you do what you can to take care of you. And if it's too emotionally triggering, too unhealthy for you, then you find a way around it, right? I mean, that's what I've done my whole life. I find a way to skirt it so I can kind of have the experience. And then I make my own adventure somehow. And so, yeah, I travel solo. Would I like to travel with people? Well, sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I really enjoy it. Okay. But I got to create a safe space. Hence, when I first came on at the beginning of this live today, um, I announced that I am having a camp together. I changed it from a GTG, which is a get together, to a CTG because somebody complained about the GTG comment. And I was like, it's an abbreviation for get together. Get over it. Right. Well, okay. So let's make it a camp together. How's that? So only 3 days, the 27th, 28th, and 29th of January here in Quartzsite. I haven't decided if it's going to be at Dome Rock or Palomosa Road. Okay. But for those 3 days, set up close to me on Friday. And then at sunset Saturday, well, sunset Sabbath, okay, I do a non-religious Sabbath, a day of rest. So I don't move my car sunset Saturday to sunset, other way around, sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. And so during that time, we can hang out, we can go for walks, we can talk all we want, we can have campfires, we can do whatever. And then Sunday morning, I'll do my live and y'all, whoever's there, can be on with me. And then we'll disperse, disband, whatever. Then you can go your own way or whatever. But that will be that's on an announcement that is out there in the greater world somewhere. And I was trying really hard to push the announcement, but I'm not sure I did it right because I just started a SimplyLesa page. I didn't know that was possible because I didn't want my personal Lesa Neesmith's Facebook stuff to get cluttered with SimplyLesa stuff, which is more fans, right? And now they're mixed and I'm trying to separate them, but I didn't know about this page thing. So working on that. Oh, thank you, girls. Also, don't forget, there are super chats, super thanks. There are ways to help me out if you want to, or to buy me some gas. I just got Cash App. Everything I do my best to be SimplyLesa. I think the only thing I'm not SimplyLesa on right now is Instagram. I am SimplyLesa _. But I also tried to simplify. I now own SimplyLesa.com. And when you go out there, there's little buttons to click to go places. And also being transparent and open, I have no, I get very little income from this stuff. If I could figure out how to increase that without increasing any cost to you guys, I would do that. Okay. Okay, I saw some more comments happening. Let me go see what those are. You know, I have to push a button to get there. So, whoops, did it push? All right, did it show me? Again, maybe somebody's typing. I often think that's what it is when I'm trying to push the button, if it doesn't pop up, maybe somebody's typing. So let me go way back up here. Let's see. So I saw another question from TJ. Yes, and Beth, you visit with us all you want, and if you ever want to have a kind of calm way to camp with someone else, you privately let me know. If we're near each other, I don't mind helping you try being with somebody. Rady, that's the right name. Yeah. Thanks. Oh yeah. Without my service dog, I'm having an even tougher time. I bet you are. I can only imagine. In the past, you mentioned wanting a dog like a Yorkie. You still want one? Actually, yes and no. Let me come back. Yorkie. Oh, that's wonderful, Dawn. Hang in there. inflammation in your hands and knees is gone. I have a really weird patch of odd skin that has been in the middle of my back my whole life, and I have not even been eating this way for a month, and the patch of skin is gone. And I have it won't show up on the phone, I'm fairly certain, but this bottom mark here had been kind of a darker colored thing, and it's almost gone. It's fading. So that's kind of nice. Oh, good, Dawn. I'm glad it's not that. Okay. Check email. Loretta, a notification just came up that I hope doesn't show on film, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's probably going to be my insurance money for Baja. Oh, thank you so much. What a blessing. You people just having this thing to come to every Sunday. The routine of this, and the word that's in my head is camaraderie, but is that the right word? I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. But the community of us, we're not thousands, we're not hundreds, but you know what? We're connected in a way that's different. And I feel so blessed to have you guys to come talk with on Sundays. It just gives me another purpose. And I'm so grateful. I do hope that this helps people. I think it does. But I'm so grateful. And without you all, I could not be doing what I'm doing, because I wouldn't have had an excuse to do some things, right? And I might have just given up and been depressed and said, well, if I'm going to just sit here and wait to die, I may as well hurry up with it, right? And so why live healthy, or why do whatever? But instead, I'm like, you guys are going to be here Sunday. What can I get done this week so I could come show you, or how can I get a picture of this thing to share? Okay. When I was driving the other day, that little tiny clip of driving on that dirt road near Dome Rock, I was like, man, I bet Iris would have loved it if she was sitting in the seat with me and going over these crazy dirt roads. She would have probably had a ball doing this. So, I can think of you guys that way now. And to me, that's worth more than money. I feel so wealthy and blessed beyond imagination. Okay. And wealth is not all about money. My last month, that focus last month was all about, or during January, this month, right? The focus this month has been, about wealth, and how wealth is not all about money. And I entertain these thoughts off and on, and so every once in a while I give myself a whole nother month to think about something. And February's coming up, and what I've kind of traditionally done since I really made myself my own project plan, I used to kind of teach a thing actually to domestic violence victims, that was called create your personal project plan. And it was like a 6-week course. And I didn't even think I was doing a good job with it, but whatever. I use it all the time still for me. So, but okay, I forgot what I was telling you. And it wasn't an outside distraction, but I forgot what I was telling you. But anyways, yeah. So, it's not the first time that I've thought about wealth, and February coming up. So since I was doing those things, I took February because it's Valentine's Day, and I don't keep Valentine's Day. I know what the history of it is, and that's not important to me. But I decided, since the rest of the world is focusing on Valentine's Day, and in the store there's all these little hearts and symbols and chocolate candies and teddy bears and roses and whatever, I decided that I would take February to be my self-love month. And so let's do that. Let's focus February on self-love. How can we love ourselves even better? And personally today, going through this hard thing this last week or two, and especially some of those hard adult conversations that I had with the campmate, I am so grateful. And okay, and I'm going to say this in transparent English. It's scary to say, but I realized I had been angry and I had been jealous. And it wasn't okay where I grew up to be angry or jealous. Okay. And so I never really even thought about it much. So I didn't know what it looked like really. I every once in a while you slam your finger in a drawer and you're like, that hurts. Why did I do that? Well, you didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. But I never, my brain does not go to somebody did me wrong, I'm going to get them back. My brain doesn't do that. I don't know why. It's like I don't have that wiring. So for whatever reason, thank you God. Maybe I would have been dangerous if I had it, right? But so I so I've spent quite a bit of private time, I guess you'd say in prayer, talking to the Creator about how angry I was. And I started off with, I thought I was angry at the other people. And then I realized I wasn't angry at the other people. Then I thought I was angry at me. And then I realized I was angry at God. Why, God, did you have me be paralyzed so that I couldn't shift the car that I loved? So now I had to get a new car. Why, God, did you have me be paralyzed in New York City that 4th of July when I wanted to have a good time and party and dance and sing with some people, and I ended up in the hospital having morphine shots? Why, God, did you have me be paralyzed when they filmed the Nomad movie? So all those people, and some of these people had been really mean to me in real life. Those people are famous, like famous and made money. And I was paralyzed, all alone, with a walker, 3 feet of snow, in a crappy old trailer where my shoes were frozen to the floor. While these people who had been mean, not every one of them, let me rephrase that, because not every one of them had been mean, but some of these people who had been mean are out there, and you're blessing them and letting them get rich. I don't understand, right? So, yes, a couple of people have met me when I said things like, yeah, RTR, yeah, it's all overrated. Yeah, whatever. Okay, Howa, they gave me a minivan. We all knew the engine was bad. Yeah, but Lesa signed the freaking contract, okay? I signed the contract. I'm responsible. But I was still angry, because how was that helpful? And yes, it was helpful, because after it broke down and I cleared it with them and I tried to give them the van back and they didn't want it. But after I cleared it with them, then I sold it and I had more money in my hands to get a different vehicle, which has ended up me having this, which I love. Okay. But I had to finally face in the last 2 weeks how angry I have been at God for putting me in these situations. And that's embarrassing and challenging to say on camera out loud to the whole world. I've been angry for God for letting me be born into the family I was born in. How far gone is that? And now I have to say, and thank you, Lesa. I've been angry with me too, because I got responsibility in all these things, okay? But now that I'm on the other side a little bit, and I'll still have to practice how to be nicer in front of people who have been painfully difficult with me. In awkward situations, I probably will have to be careful how I interact with them, so that but now I can be grateful that God is allowing me to start seeing that it's okay to love Lesa, even though she made these mistakes along with the other people, because none of us are God yet. And I think I'm on the other side of some things. Healing is a whole other thing, okay? But I think I'm on the other side of things, and I hope that I'm healing, and I think I am. My therapist thinks I am too, which is always nice to have that little pat on the back from a therapist. But but I put it right out there because I know I've met some people recently who just looked at me like, "Oh, we don't like you," and some of it. It's okay because not everybody's going to like us in the world. It's a human thing. Some people are going to like us and some people aren't. But I am going to continue to be as honest as I can see in the moment, and to be as nice as I can be in the moment. And if I make a mistake, I'll do my best to correct it and move on and get on some other, I'm always working on self-improvement. That's not going to stop. So, all right, that's over. Oh, if you knew how much guts that took for me to just say that. Okay, where are y'all at here? Both the trailer and not. Okay, I'm seeing some trailer comments out here. Do you think tow in a trailer is a hindrance in nomadic life? Do you think it would be better, easier with or without? There's a lot of, I didn't see the name. What's the name? Dandy Dan, is that the name? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so okay, I see some more diet things. We're gonna do a diet talk one day, so no, I did not order yet the hammock stand from the hammock site yet. I did not because I can't afford the initial outlay of that amount of money to get it. But I do believe that over time, both now that I have that other person interested as well, well, actually, there's two people I've met now that it's possible to split the cost of that eventually, but I don't have the amount to just pay for it. I'm not willing to take the money out of my emergency fund to buy the hammock stand with. That's the honest truth. So that's where that is. And because I have to buy two, I can get reimbursed for one because I now know two people who want one. So it's just a matter of maneuvering the getting it. And I want to go to Baja worse than I want to do that because I don't even have the front receiver hitch on my car yet. I thought that was going to happen because Tim Connolly was nearby and he had a welder, and I had met a guy who has another tracker from Canada who was willing to put a front hitch on for me down here while we're at the LTVA area in Quartzsite. And I lost track of the guy with the tracker. Then I saw him again. And Tim Connolly was escorted away and is in a different location. And so the welder's not here. So, not yet. Okay, now back to trailer question. Let me get to your trailer thing. I think it's a very personal choice whether you take a trailer or you don't. Brooke, who's Betty Joe in real life, but Brooke, who's on here some Sundays, she decided that she likes to pull a trailer because it feels like a home to her. But she also likes to camp in basically one location and not move for 2 weeks, and then move with the trailer. And then when she found that she could afford the LTVA in Quartzsite, she's staying the full 6 months in Quartzsite or close to it. Okay. Parked in one place. She came down, she moved some rocks to edge her yard. She taught her dog what's her yard and don't you go over that, right? And so she comes and go from the trailer that way. For her, that's comfortable. She's not going the kinds of places I go, because that's why I have 4-wheel drive, and why my car is so tiny. It works for me for where I want to go. Personally, because you asked me, if I was starting out again, I would not do a trailer. I would not even think about it, because it limits your freedom. Now, it doesn't limit everybody's freedom, but I love my freedom so much. I don't want this freedom. I want big freedom. I want you can't see my hands freedom. Okay. And some people, this much freedom is enough. So even off-road trailers, there can be some places you can't get them in, or like in the woods, right? Maybe you can't get it up over one of the rocks or a root or something, or it twists when you go over the vehicle goes over the bump first, and then the trailer has to twist to get over the bump itself. So there's all those factors if you're into camping a little away from people. And then there's the backing it up, which you can learn to do. I mean, I had trailers, I had scamps, I tried it. I don't like it. I just decided that wasn't the right thing for me. I thought I wanted it because I wanted a home and I wanted to come and go from my home. And for me, getting in the driver's seat of my van, I felt like I was always in my living room and I couldn't leave. That to me felt just like being in an apartment waiting to die. What's the point? So I'm going to get out and walk in the grocery store and get back in, and that's it. Oh, this is boring. So no, for me. Okay. So I like being able to just change my mind tomorrow and just go. Like maybe I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, well, today's the day we're going. And maybe all I've got outside is a lawn chair if I'm in a rural situation like here in Quartzsite. But a lot of times that lawn chair is already stored and I don't pull it out. So, it's just like, well, I woke up, it's time to go. Where are we going today? How far are we going to drive? And then I go, well, I think I'll go this way and let's see what's down there. Right. And so I like that kind of freedom for myself, and not everybody's like me. So I would not, Lesa would not do a minivan. Lesa would not do a van. Lesa would not do a camper. I would not do a Class A. I would not do, okay, so the knots are kind of big. So now let's go to the positives, right? I would do, if necessary. Okay, dream vehicles. Let's go dream vehicles. I would do a 4-door Jeep Wrangler with an Ursa Minor top and a heartbeat. And I would probably put on one of those awnings that stick out that has an attic-room. Absolutely, in a heartbeat. But that's a dream vehicle, okay? So I would do, and Jeeps are not the most reliable, I understand, from mechanics, but I would. So I would do a Jeep or a Jeep style vehicle. So like a Defender, although they're probably expensive to repair, but a Defender, I can't think of the name of them right now. Land Rover. I would do, what else would I do? Well, I would probably do an FJ, but an FJ honestly doesn't have that much space inside. It's really small inside, and the floor has so many dips and things for where they attach the seats. They have a built-up bump where the seats get attached. It's just awkward, but an FJ, yeah. And I would outfit it a little different than my friend, the Overlander next door. what's her name? Juliana. I would outfit it a little bit different, but anyways, it's a very capable vehicle, but they're expensive to buy. So, and another thing that I would do is a truck with a truck topper on it, because you can get out of the cab and go in the back to sleep. So you're not sitting in your living room, and that's my opinion. Now, I'm not saying yours is, you do you. You find what works for you, but what's more comfortable and what's your goal? When I first came back from Costa Rica, I wanted a home. I wanted home. I wanted family. And God hasn't let me have that for some reason. I mean, I have other people in my life, but He hasn't let me have it the way I thought it was supposed to look. So, okay, so here I am. It's okay. Um, I mean, yeah, I've cried over it some, but I'm not going to cry over it now. What's the point? Um, I've gotten comfortable with it now. So, but I would do a truck with a truck cap. I would do a truck with a Harper Outdoors pop top. It's like a wedge style pop top thing for the back of a pickup truck. But on this one, instead of it only being a pop top, so you would have to step up on the tailgate and then go in to get up in, right? This one actually has a piece that comes out so that it covers all the way to the ground. So you have even ground level, then you step up in the truck. That's real cool. The four-wheel drive campers, I think is what they're called. They're another pop top thing. Or the Alaskan, well, they're horribly expensive, but Alaskan campers, even the vintage ones, are the bomb. I love those. They're horribly expensive, but they're lovely. They're very basic. They're, no frills. Nice. But I'm an SUV camper girl all the way around. And I think anybody that can learn how to do SUVs, or that has any tendency to like to drive SUVs, try that on for size. And unless you really got to have a home, right? And that there's something about home that means space to you, then that would be a reason to do something more. But for me personally, I wouldn't go that direction. And come on, a lot of people are shocked. They think that I towed this vehicle or that I'm home every 2 weeks. All last week, I think I was home. I was home for COVID, and that was a month. I think I was home 6 weeks last year, and that's it. I mean, since I left, right? And I can't remember. I think I left in March. So, but 6 weeks, that's all. And it's and the 4 weeks because of COVID. So, I mean, I may be off a little on my time, and I'm not trying to like tell a lie. I'm just, I could be off a little, but I haven't been there. It's not like you guys think it is, or like some people think it is. I'm not there every 2 weeks. I'm not running home in between trips. It's not like that. That's not home. This is home. Yeah. And I'm very happy. And what I started to say was that a lot of people are kind of in shock that I long distance travel in my Chevy Tracker. This is a 1998. So when I change my address, which is coming up here in the next few weeks, Loretta, I might switch my mind and I might use that money to help me change my address. But anyway, this is my home. I long distance travel in this. I do not tow this. I do not run home every couple of weeks. I stay out on the road. It's the way I do it. And that's why I'm wanting to add another piece to this, that when I'm in a situation like I'm in here, where I could be staying at the LTVA. I actually have a sticker. If I did that, I could set up something large and put a wood stove in it for bad weather. Or when I go to, like, I'm going to go over to Hobotech's thing down at Formosa Road, his camp together thing. And if I wanted to, I could put up a tent structure like near a friend, right? So that if I didn't want to spend every single night, but it would be a hangout spot that's safe for me. And if it's safe for me, it's safe for people similar to me. Now, it wouldn't be safe for everybody like me because I would eventually probably put a little titanium fold up uh, hiking backpack and wood stove in it so that the smoke wouldn't bother you inside, but it still would be wood smoke. And some people just can't be around wood smoke. I can. Thank you. Because I'm allergic to so much. All right. I've talked and talked and talked and talked. And oh, wow, we're really going. Okay, let me go back up. Dan, I see you're talking more. So let me go back up. Okay, where are we going? Way back up here. My concern is it would be, especially for parking. Yeah, it carries a lot of your outside items. Do you like it? Yeah. Size matters. There you go. Wow, I can hear Bob's voice right now from a block and a half over. So he's talking. Jacob wants to know when I'm going to Baja. I'm in on the trip with Candy from Chicks Do It Too. Jason and Melinda from MJK Adventures. I forgot who else. I'm not sure if Echo and Mark are going, but anyways, I think we're crossing the border March 6th, but I'm not absolutely certain. But it's March. It'll be the month of March. Okay, let's go back up here. Yeah, northern to those small 4x8 trailers, they seem small, but you might have been in a house and had a garage. What's small? And what do you need to carry that's that much stuff? Do you really need that stuff? Think it over. Maybe you're at the stage where you're bringing it because while you're out, you're going to go through it and decide what you're going to keep and what you're not going to keep. But why do you think you need that? Because personally, if I had stuff stacked on a open trailer just for storage, every time I went in to shop in the grocery store, I'd be concerned that I'd come out and the tubs were gone. And so I'm not doing that to myself. Why own it if somebody else could take it? So I would personally, yeah, because you're asking me too, right? I mean, you're asking the community, and I'm glad everybody gets to give you input. But personally, I I know anything on the outside of my car is at risk. And if I can't afford to replace them, I don't want it on the outside of my car because it's hard for me to get new things sometimes. So I try to be very self-protective. Maybe I need to let go of that a little more, like I'm learning with other things. I don't know. But there's a lot of theft going on in the world these days. And I haven't had things like that stolen. I haven't. But I mean, I have in the past, sure. I've left a chair at a campsite thinking I'm coming back to a chair and it's not there and gone, darn, and now I don't have a chair. But chairs aren't all it's, you know, racked up to be either. I wish I could sit like Asian people in that squat position. I still struggle with the way my knees move, which I hope this diet I'm on will help. But um, God throws us forward. Oh yeah. Yep. What's the 14? You're welcome to see. I just saw the 14.99. What's the 14.99 Amazon thing? I didn't, maybe there's a question up here and I missed what it's about. Hey, very man as well. How long have you had it? Do you feel comfortable? If the storage is locked, yeah, get a hitch lock. Yeah. Having to drive a sedan. Oh, okay. I see why you're doing that. Yes, Beth, good comment there about if it's a 4x8 trailer, what's the worst? You're in the far end of the parking lot. That's a good comment. I'm so happy you guys are keeping up and helping answering these questions. Um, and if you're in a sedan, then there's okay. I didn't see what's the 14.99 uh 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 Beth, what's that Amazon 14.99 about? I don't see it. Not much storage. Heading out. Nice chatting. Oh, okay. Bye, guys. Oh, the hitch lock. Oh, okay. Yeah. Link wouldn't go through head-to-hand type. Yeah, got it. Hitch lock. Yeah, I used to have a hitch lock too when I had trailers, and they're the bomb. They kind of have a ball that goes up inside the thing on the front, and then it locks on. Some people are more nervous than that if it's really vital or whatever. But look, things can happen way down the road, a year or two. All kinds of things can happen in the world. So just don't have your heart set in your stuff, because God forbid something happens. But, I know somebody who left home with their great grandfather's black powder rifles, their baby book their grandmother put together for them, their, all the family heirlooms. And I'm allergic to propane, by the way. And if I ever get near your rig and I say something about, I smell propane, you need to, and I step back, you better check for leaks. This person didn't check for leaks. They were, oh, you crazy, Lesa. What is that? Right? And in I don't know, 3 weeks later, I was camped a distance away and I saw a puff, a black smoke over the top, down in Yuma, over the top of the VFW. And I knew that person was camped over there. And I went, I hope it wasn't them. It was. They lost every freaking thing. Everything. So just know, we never know what's going to happen. So don't have your heart set in your stuff. But if you feel like you need it, yes, there will be maintenance. But the maintenance on a trailer is, don't forget to, I think you grease the top of the ball, as well as keep your bearings packed with grease, and just make sure your tires are in good shape. But please, please do your maintenance and make sure your chains are not too long so that they don't create sparks on the road. Because once you get in a place like Arizona in the desert, in the summer when it's so hot, the sparks from a chain can cause a huge fire in the desert grasslands. So be careful with those things. But aside from that, make sure your lights work. And be reasonable. If you're new to towing, travel like earlier in the morning, or I prefer I was going to say or later in the evening, but really earlier in the morning is more safe. Okay. And be aware that if your car is sluggish going up an incline, go ahead and stay behind a semi truck if you need to. And if you need to, if your vehicle, you're towing and your vehicle is going less than 35 miles an hour, put on your emergency flasher lights. That warns other people coming up behind you so that they will just automatically drive around. And, be courteous that way. Try not to be, in the left-hand lane very long if you need to go past somebody. But, just be reasonable. Don't try to drive 80 towing a trailer. It's not wise. People do it, but more people have more people that drive super fast have accidents with trailers than people who drive slower. So, take a little care. And I appreciate Dan. Yeah, you can always sell a small trailers. Trailers are something people want. They'll use them for landscaping in a city or something. And so you could just stop in a city and sell one if you needed to. So, yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that part, Iris, with my Amazon store, but I do have an influencer store. And if you go to my SimplyLesa.com, there's a big link for you hit that link. It'll take you over to the store. And if you go through all the items, there's a lot of items on there, and it's not very pretty right now. But if you go all the way to the bottom, it has a place where you can click and it says continue shopping under Lisa's name or something. Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. So hopefully those things like start to work. I think maybe I don't have a setting set right somewhere in the affiliate stuff, or I'm not sure. There's something that's not hooked up right or something, because it seems like I'd be making way more money because I got a graph that shows on the affiliate page where people have been busy clicking on my links, but so maybe I just don't have something set right. Well, crap, we've been almost, listen to me, we've been almost 2 hours this morning. I didn't think we'd go this long. Dan, are you feeling more comfortable, or you need a little more time? You need a few more questions. Oh, cool. I'm so glad you guys know that. I don't even know that. I mean, I think I know. I thought it was similar, but so boy, the parking lot has changed since I showed you guys earlier. Different vehicles, the wind's calmed down a little bit. The flags are a little more reasonably flying. Some cool vans over here. That's a older, nice looking van. Let me pan around again. It's better if I leave it right there and just twist the little tripod. There's some Class A's and a schoolie over there. That's cool. He's cute. I know some people are really into the schoolies. I don't love to drive a van, but I'd tell you what, if I wanted a bigger vehicle and I thought it was the right thing, a 4-window schoolie looks like a really good size. But I'm not sure I'd want to be the one to drive it. Okay, I don't see that. It says, what does it say? Do I need glasses? Good Lord, I can't. I'm getting real close to my face. I'll turn it around so you can see how close I'm getting to try to see. What does this say? I can't read it. Time goes too fast, doesn't it go fast? Oh, well, what did I do? I accidentally deleted a message. I didn't mean to. So if you, okay. Okay. I'm good, thanks. Oh, thank you, Dan. I'm glad. And you come back and visit us if you'd like to. We'd love to have you more. And the community out here, I think, is really welcoming. And I appreciate you all helping me to have this nice community live thing to kind of facilitate on Sunday mornings. And just because it's my face doesn't mean I'm the only one out here. So y'all come, and we will see you next week. Please, if you want to, please subscribe and like my channel. Find me on Instagram, Facebook. I now have a Facebook page called SimplyLesa, which is for fans. I'd prefer that people kind of go out there. My personal things gotten muddled up with people that I don't even know because they're like, oh, it's Simply Lesa, you know, and I'd like to move them over. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So I could have my personal stuff a little separate would be nice. Visit my.com, simplylesa.com. Pretty easy. Keep life simple and travel light and often while you're making every day some kind of adventure. Because even if some of my adventures, like I told you stories today, have been emotionally challenging, and some of my adventures have included me getting mad at God and then crying about it and saying, man, I'm sorry, God, I'm really mad at me, right? But next month we'll work on some self-love stuff too. But let's see, a little more wealth thoughts this month. I think freedom is the biggest wealth there is. And I'm going to go to RTR this afternoon, see if I can find myself a decent small cooler, because I need one. It's kind of hard to take meat, and I'm going out to Hobotex, and how am I going to carry my food? Right now, if I go to Family Dollar and I get frozen hamburger, which is not my favorite brand of it, but I could get frozen hamburger, and it'll help keep things frozen. But I've so far only managed to do about 4 days. But Plomosal Road's a lot further away. So we'll see how that works out. All right, y'all have a wonderful one. Come join me in camp if you want to, the 27th, 28th, 29th. You can find that announcement somewhere. If you find the announcement, please share it to any groups or any other nomad stuff you see. I would appreciate that because I'm not sure what I did shared it. So y'all have a wonderful week. We will see you next week on Simply Live on Sundays. Ciao. Have a great week, everybody.